everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War 2 with this Polish-Lithuanian campaign. Last time around we were able to incorporate the Livonian region into our empire. In between the episodes here I've gone ahead and merged a few units, and in so doing I realized that for my own sake it's going to be a lot easier if I re-enable the replenishment feature. So as a standard for Empire 2, when you download it, it's set so that you cannot replenish. So instead what they want you to do is they want you to recruit troops and then bring them up to whatever army and then merge the units. That's how I understood it. The problem with that means it's kind of difficult for me to maintain the membership units, and having them sort of get destroyed or accidentally merged or what have you could cause quite a bit of trouble for me just keeping a track on everything. So I have gone ahead and re-enabled the replenishment. Other than that, what we have gone ahead and done is I have transferred a few of the regiments as I've merged militia and pike units from this army right here. So what we do have is the 4th Regiment Kurt has been moved up to a musketeer. We've got the 5th Regiment Jipilu also moved up to a musketeer regiment, and then we've got the 8th Regiment Holt has been moved up to a grenadier. Now the picture here actually kind of deceiving, because this is what the grenadiers look like. So we're still like late 1600s type units in terms of a lot of this, like, or very early 1700s, as we can see here. Hopefully we'll be able to improve our army as it goes along, but currently we're sort of just bits and bobs we're able to throw together to set up our armies. As of right now, as I said, we're not really looking to go against Sweden, because I don't want to block the Russians, because they're going to be fighting back and forth here, and I don't want to get in their way and, you know, drag the Russians in against us. My main concern now, as we've taken the Swedes off our border and pushed them quite far away up here, where their army seem to have no interest at all in moving against us. Now I want to focus back on my capital here, and I want to see if we can go ahead and turn this into an absolute monarchy. We're going to get rid of the nobleman privileges. So what I'm thinking is we're going to go ahead and upgrade this to government apartments. Government apartments gives us a whopping -5 for nobility, and I'm hoping that will be just what I need to be able to swing it so that I can go ahead and make them very unhappy to the point where they cause a revolution, at which point the king will be installed as an absolute monarch instead. With that said, there isn't much more to be done, so let's go ahead and end turn and see how the Swedes respond to losing Livonia. Military technology, academic training doctrine, wonderful. And we've got a whole host of troops, winged hussars, light infantry, and 5 musketeer units being recruited all across the country. And we've got roads to speedily move the armies back and forth. War declared. Maratha Confederacy, Hyderabad, I could care less about India. And small, we've got quite a few of these. They seem to come repeating. Right, so with all the new troops, we're going to see about getting them as closing up here. And we'll go ahead and see about renaming a lot of these units. So I think that what we'll have is, for most of the infantry regiments, we'll transfer them to musketeers, except of course for the, which regiment is it? It's the 1st Regiment. Nick is now going to be these light infantry, and then of course the winged hussars is going to be reformed. Of course, this cavalry unit, Izzy, was killed in the first episode, I believe, and now has been reformed. Currently, I'm also recruiting some extra troops here to strengthen that side. The Grenadiers are on the march up here. This army should really split in two. What I'm thinking, though, is that we'll keep the old units, the pikemen, the militia, and so on. We'll keep them in Livonia, and then we'll have Stanislav Poniatowski take the new units, the new musketeers, and the grenadiers, and then he'll be the sort of the army that marches around. With the little bit of money I have now, we're going to go ahead and start on the government's apartment. It's going to take 9 turns to complete that, and then since we were able to complete this task, I'm thinking we should actually now go for one of these to actually increase the rate at which we are able to gather technology. And so I think this one is the primary one, though I think we want, because it gives no minus to happiness, but it gives us 10% to technology research rate, +1 wealth for all the towns, and repair cost gets vastly reduced by 15%. That's quite a lot. I have noticed out here that we do have translated dictionary, which promotes Western Slavic culture. So we might be able to culturally convert regions later on. And it looks like we even have, through religious schools, be able to turn regions culturally Polish. Which I guess is a bit unfortunate for some of the minorities in these certain areas. But what are you going to do about it? For now, it seems like it's far in the future. So for now, the minorities can keep their subcultures. But sooner or later, they will be transformed with the... you know what I'm thinking? The Prussians are really kind of locked in. I wonder if we should set up some kind of treaty with them where we allow them... We actually already offer military access. I forgot that I traded, I guess trade agreement was part of that. They do have access through my lands for another 14 turns. The Austrians, though, we're now actually at 2+. It's still indifferent, but we might be able to sway them to trade with us. They won't go ahead and do that. What if I pay you 1,000? I'm not super interested. What if I add a technology? Maybe not, actually. I don't think it's going to do very much for the Austrians, though. The AI isn't going to rely on that as much as I'm going to do. There we go. We've managed to secure a trade deal, and we should see an increase in happiness in between our two countries, and hopefully we can stave off war. Let's see how much I actually make from that trade with Austria. 400, which is actually the highest amount of any of the nations that I trade with, which is really good. And then we don't even have long-term trading partners. But we need to see about making sure that I can go ahead and re-enable taxation. We can actually re-enable taxation here. Although if I do, no villages will be growing and the people will actually be starving somewhat. Can I re-enable? I can. I only have some unhappiness of the higher classes. I need as much money as I can going forward here. We are in a precarious situation with enemies all around. Let's go ahead and end turn and see if we can't come any closer to turning this into an absolute monarchy and also sort of just straighten out the country in terms of administration and so on. get ourselves on the right track and not worry so much about bloody conflict. Well, good that did. We just had a deal. And then Leopold strikes me in the back, the bastard. He goes ahead and declares war on me. Now, I think it's very unlikely that any of my allies will join me, and I'm more interested in holding on to them, especially Russia, so Russia doesn't declare war on me. So I'm not going to call on their aid. If I would need any of them to join the war, I will call on them through diplomatic deals to get them to join me in the war against Austria. But I am not going to ask them to. Even, I mean, Russia isn't going to be able to do anything. Denmark isn't going to be able to do anything. Kurland is definitely not going to be able to do anything. The only one within reach is Saxony, and Saxony is kind of sort of sandwiched in between the Prussians and the Austrians, and that could be a dangerous position for them to be in, be a war with them. But anyways, we've got the Austrians declaring war on us, so yes, we need to transfer our armies down south, because, I mean, the Swedes aren't moving against us, but it seems like the Austrians are. So let's go ahead and prepare as best we can. As I said, Saxony is in a pretty precarious situation, in which we've got the Prussians to the north and the Austrians to the south. And now Prussia goes ahead and declares war on Saxony. They are allied with Hanover, not that I'd care, but I will definitely enter on the side of Saxony. I can't remember exactly what the relationship is with August II, which is the king, August the Strong. I think he's elector of Saxony or something. I can't exactly remember. But yeah, I'm not gonna abandon them, even though it sort of pains me to be at war with Prussia and Austria at the same time. We're gonna honor our alliance, our ties with Saxony. Trade agreement cancelled with the Austrians, the backstabbers. Letter of demand from Livonia, and we've got an opera house in Vilnius and a weaver's house in the same region. New royal heir, Sophia, has been born to our king. So the Austrians are coming on, which isn't great, but they're not coming on as strong as I would have thought. The main target for our advance then would be towards Koenigsberg, although I think the Prussians are most likely to come against us. There's another huge force. Jesus Christ, they've been building troops. I'm nowhere near anything near this amount around anything, and my capital actually doesn't even have... Does any of these regions have a fort? This one has what looks like a fort, but then no one else. We're gonna have to... the thing is, this one just sent their demands. How many troops can I possibly spare from this region? We'll take Poniatowski. We'll take the new troops. And then we'll take the militia and the cavalry. And that works as well. What about the pikemen? I can take the pikemen as well. We'll only leave the general then, and then we'll take this entire force. We'll need to replenish it. Cost me 200. And then we will be moving on Koenigsberg. Now, for the capital, actually, what we'll do, I can probably send the general away from here as well, without them causing problem. Oh, just that causes a little bit of problem. We will recruit some peasantry to hold down the region. That will be enough. The general, which one is this? Lempic. It's going to move directly to Warsaw, take control of the troops that we have there. This army needs to be boosted. as well as this one. So as of current, I've gone ahead and renamed the units, so we no longer have any militia or pikemen named after membership units. So instead, the 3 grenadiers in this army is Holt, Ognam, Majovsky, and then for the infantry we of course had Jipilu and Kurt. And then for the main capital region we've got Nick now in charge of the Lightfoot, Izzy of course in charge of the Winged Hussars. 7th Regiment Wyatt has been moved to over here. And did I move anyone over here? No. So everyone sort of has been moved. The only one that currently holds is the Sons of Cochet, which is currently the only membership unit that still holds like the old sort of provincial cavalry or militia type unit. I want some more cannons because I saw the Prussians have quite a few. So I think that could be nice. And then we want to switch that one over as well. So let's go ahead and get him the Sons, move them over to Winged Hussar unit as well. And then I've got 400 left, which I can do nothing with. Now we do have... we had militia down here. Right. Let's go ahead and see. I'm worried that the Prussians will be moving in. And the Prussians have so many more troops than I can even comprehend right now. They've got tons and tons of troops. And then we also have all the Austrians. They have not gathered their forces yet, but this is not great. I do not understand. The Austrians and the Prussians are at war with each other. Why are they not fighting? Why are they fighting me? Now, of course, the only border they share is right over here. But still, they should be going after each other rather than going after me. God damn it, everyone's ganging up on Poland as ever. Right, let's go ahead and end turn and see if we will be the ones to make the first move or if it will be the Prussians that attack us. So let's go ahead and end turn, shall we? Well, as we were able to make it through the end turn, that means that no one has gone ahead and attacked us. We've got another letter of demand from Livonia. However, I armed the peasants to keep the noblemen of Livonia in check. So, right, what's this? Hard reputation. Who is this? It's one of my advisors. We've got peasants armed in Livonia. The Austrians move no further. The Prussians made an attack on Saxony, and their army was thrashed, actually, and forced back. So the Saxons yet live. And my forces now closes in on the Prussians in Koenigsberg. Now, what I want to do is I want to gather my forces because I want to bring in my cannons to fight them. The question is, will they sally forth if I move my troops into the region of attack? Will they sally forth against me, which I'm worried about? Or should I? Because I want to bring in more reinforcements. Like, I'm not confident just going equal numbers. I want more troops. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to try and go around. Next turn, the cannons and the other hussar unit comes around. I will be moving then up through here. And then we can join all our forces together to take out Koenigsberg. If the enemy moves out to face us, that is just as well. If I'm set up in a defensive position here, I should be fine. General moves through. Clearly this region has got quite a bit of trouble brewing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a brothel to quell the rebellion, the rebellious spirit of this region. I will send hundreds on hundreds of prostitutes. Yes, that will calm the situation. a very Polish solution. No, I don't think so, but in this case, it is. Right. Rather than go ahead and build on my country, we will continue to recruit troops. This area, I think, is most likely to be attacked by the Prussian force here. So I want to recruit some extra infantry that should just take about one turn. We got matchlock line infantry, grenadier line infantry. Let's see, what was I looking for? These musketeers. There we go. We'll have 3 of these. That should definitely bolster this region, and hopefully Potocki, Kazimierz Potocki. The Polish are cringing so much right now as I'm trying to pronounce these people. Right. We're set up. I'm a little bit worried here because the our school, Krakow, it's right on the border with the Austrians, and like they'll come over and raid that quickly as hell, and suddenly I'm out of research. I do have my duelist though, and if they go ahead and burn that, my duelist is definitely gonna head over to Grunts and shoot someone or fight them with a sword. This guy was, I believe, proficient in... There we go. He's proficient in both. So, he'll good duelist. Right. With that said, we're gonna give the enemy another opportunity to be given the opportunity to strike first. I note here that the Prussians are also trying to recruit some prostitutes to quell the rebellious spirit. Oh, these guys are... Oh yeah, foreign occupation. We are the foreign whores that are coming. Anyways, let's go ahead and end turn, shall we? More troops being recruited. We have yet 2 more cannons, more troops, and another hussar regiment has been raised. Wonderful. We also have an agent detected. A very malnourished Austrian has moved in and trying to burn the farmsteads down here in Ternopil. He's trying to burn that place. I think though he'd probably do better stealing some of that food, because that guy looks like a skeleton. Right. With that, can I actually have... The cannon's gonna take too long to actually join. So I think we'll just... The thing is though, the Prussians are building their force. The longer I wait, but I can't really attack without cannons. I need guns to at least match the Prussians in how many guns, to force them to advance on me rather than me advancing on them. So we're gonna swing around. We're gonna get the 2 guns. The Austrians have yet to cross. The light troops move fast enough, and the hussars definitely move fast enough. So we'll wait to bring them up, and also we'll obviously try and bring this force in as well to join the fight. Nothing more I can do. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to rename the 2nd Horse Guard unit, and then for next turn we'll actually come to battle, and I'm gonna infiltrate with my own spy, which is healthy because I feed my spies. Oh, and we find a spy in there. 36% chance of killing him. Let's try it. Okay, well, we'll try it next turn then. I guess I didn't feed him that well. Right, let's go ahead and end turn once more. Wonderful! Just what I needed. All the old enemies of Poland, Lithuania decides to strike us. I thought this was going to be the Great Northern War. We were all going to gather up and strike Sweden, but no, everyone gathers up and strikes Poland instead. None of these actually border the Ottomans, even though I would hope that the Russians would join us against them. But yeah, I'm not gonna call anyone in. Hopefully their ally stays out of it, because that will add another enemy on my border towards me, which wouldn't be great. And lucky for me, they don't. But right, Mustafa II and his devils would be coming from the south. Magistrate building sabotaged. It's that malnourished bastard going after the buildings down south, trying to cause a revolt. Now the Ottomans are at war with us, but they haven't really been building up any troops down here, so at least looks like we've got some time to spare in building up our forces in this region, and I can focus on trying to strike out others. Hyderabad got removed. I could once again care less. Okay, now the Austrians actually got a mighty force in the south of our country. This is not great. However, I cannot divide my attention. We're gonna have to go against the Prussians here. First things first, can I go ahead and murder him? No. Can I go ahead and destroy a building? No. I'll get him out of there so that he does not die in the process. Instead, I want him to go south and scout on the Austrians a little bit. They've got a lot of troops. I'm gonna have to step up the amount of troops I've got in the capital. I'm thinking we've got infantry and so on. I think we're gonna get cannons and then infantry regiments to build up there. They also kind of look like they're diverting to go over here, which could be good if I had any troops here, but right now I've only got like these, you know, it's better not to recruit units down here, so we'll just keep off that. Right, let's go ahead and have the battle of today. Okay, so they move out to face us on the field here instead of us coming to the town. I would be hoping to meet them at the town, because then we could end them in one fight, but we're gonna meet them on the field. I've got 3,575 men against their 4,100, so they have 600 men advantage. We've got similar amount of cannons. I was unfortunately not able to bring up my hussars, my winged hussars. I guess I could go ahead and retreat, but then they'll just build up even more troops. So I don't think that's a good plan. They've got better cavalry because I've got 1 unit and they got 2. And in terms of infantry, they've got these new Prussian grenadiers, which got quite a lot of accuracy. It's going to be a difficult fight, but we're up for the task, hopefully. So with that said, let's go ahead and have ourselves the Battle of Koenigsberg. Definitely a major problem of having fixed batteries is the fact that I cannot move them, and so we start off with a pretty poor artillery position, but at least we've got something here. If I move them higher up, you can see that I suddenly get no view whatsoever, but with this I kinda get a view up here. So what we've got is we got the 2 militia out to the side, we've got Jipilu, the 6th Regiment of Foot, and then the 4th Kurt right there, followed by 2 pikes, and then up on this side we've got the 3rd Ogonam, we've got the 8th Holt, and the 10th Majovsky, and then also I have the 3rd Provincial Cavalry in the back here. With that said, we're going to go ahead and start, and it's going to start off with an artillery duel, as the demi-cannons are sure to blast each other. Okay, their cannons are actually aiming for my infantry, Okay, we got major blasts going through here. Looks like they're not interested in moving their army one bit. So we're gonna have to attack them under fire. What I'm thinking we're gonna do is, first and foremost, we're gonna move troops down into this area right here to avoid their cannon fire. Not entirely sure why the unit didn't want to go down there. And looking at the terrain, we can go through the ground here underneath our own cannon fire and then try and emerge on this side and take on the Prussians attacking here. It's going to take a while to get into this position. Hopefully, in the meantime, we will actually, hopefully, strike the enemy army a few times with our cannon shot. With that, we'll go into marching the troops around. Well, that's an unfortunate turn of events. As I was moving my general to follow with the army as its redeployment, a cannonball struck the unit and took out the general and half his bodyguard. So now we are without a general, but my troops have now arrived in position. I will now just order them ready for the flank attack. But that's not great. We lost Stanislav. I can't remember what this general was called actually, but he's probably Stanislav. Definitely not a great turn of events. But the army is finally in position. It's time to start the advance. So it's basically three groups. We've got the Grenadiers going in for the center. We've got militia regiments coming in on this side. And then this group right here, it's the musketry regiments followed by the two pikemen that are moving up on the right to make a strong force on that side. We've been bombarding the Prussians for quite a while, to the point where we've torn down quite a few houses in the city behind. The artillery, of course, not very accurate at this long range, and I've decided not to focus in on their artillery, but instead on their cavalry, to bring down the cavalry advantage. But then again, our artillery position is not great, and since the enemy isn't really coming closer to us, we've had to do with what's ahead of us. Alright, the army moves forward. It's a difficult situation because the general is dead, so that makes the army a little bit concerned. Especially you can see the militia here, it actually even says concerned that the general is dead. Same with the cavalry unit out here. So we got pike unit, that should be easy enough to defeat. Militia and matchlock infantry. So it's really the weaker units that are on this side, plus then the horse unit here that we have been whittling down with our cannon fire. Looks like the pike regiment has woken up. I'm going to order this unit to take position here now. Let's go ahead and actually that's line infantry. Let's reorganize these guys a little bit. Grenadiers. There's a hill in the way here as the pikes look to be going after my militia, so they should prepare. As soon as the enemy comes above the hill, they should fire their volley. Got the cavalry coming in. Let's not have them too close to the matchlock infantry. Let's keep an eye on these pikes. Actually, I will order the cannons to focus in on that. Okay, the enemy is coming forwards here. I will hold fire, try and release. Actually, you will fire as the matchlock infantry. But you will hold for a little bit to fire once the cavalry is as close as possible to strike them down. Okay, now you will fire on those at the same time as the second unit will turn. Right, looks like they're trying to outflank us, so we will move back as you will set up to fire from there. Their cavalry was broken down. We are now in trading fire with this unit up here. We'll go ahead and move more units to face them. And we will continue the attack by having the grenadiers move forward. And we'll have these units slightly maneuver. Now the problem here is that the cannon might be firing on our own units. So we'll have to select a different target. I'm thinking we'll try as best to hit the second cavalry unit. That could be a good target. Currently we've got Jipilu trading fire with the matchlocks. I'm holding back the cavalry so far, but there is a possibility of them, of course, being deployed to move into the attack. Okay, the pikemen are now charging, and the second militia regiment will unleash a very close range volley. The enemy is broken. And I will charge to drive the lesson home that they are defeated. Okay, the enemy is lining up out of our range. We'll have to advance to face them. Complete disaster for the pike regiment as the militia completely crushes them. Okay, my units here have kind of marched into each other a little bit, which isn't great. You can set up to kind of flank, and I want the pikes to follow here. You're not the main target, so I think you can move up a little bit. And let's see if we can't get all my units here to start trading fire with the enemy. Artillery focus in on the militia regiment over here. Soon enough, these two will be coming in. Let's go ahead and trade. So we have the first militia regiment out there, and the one with bad cohesion will be moved through there. Cannons are striking through. We might go ahead and have the pikes move through here and attack and try and destroy them over there. We're not really doing enough damage on these guys. I thought they were weak. But they've been doing quite a bit of damage on Jipilu. And I want to use these to flank the enemy over here. So I'm going to deploy the 3rd Cavalry. I think we have time to even reform and set up more prepared positions. Oh, they're attacking us. Pikes forward. Were they preparing to throw grenades at us or something? I don't know. Form pike squares. And now when the cavalry is ready, they will attack and the 2 infantry regiments will advance. Strike them down! Let's go ahead and switch artillery target here because I'm thinking we're firing on our own. The cavalry's gone in. They're fighting over there. The 2 pike regiments are fighting over here. I don't want to fire because I feel like there's a risk of me shooting my own units here. So I'm going to hold back the 4th Kurd. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull them slightly back and put them more towards here. Okay, you took one hell of a beating there. The 6th. Finally, these guys were broken. I want the cavalry to continue. And then the 5th will be coming up right behind. And hopefully be able to fire on these. Let's not fire on our own cavalry. And have you move slightly back. I want to make sure that the cavalry slaughters as many of these guys as possible before I order them to withdraw. And they break under the pressure of that. Luckily for us, these guys look to be redeploying. At the same time, our squares are not too happy. I want you to move closer, tighten in, and ready to fire up the flank on these. These should be fine to fire. Hopefully the cavalry will rally. Oh, we got the 6th line infantry firing up the flank here. We've been firing up on these guys, but I want to move back so that we're not taken by and being brought up to destroyed on that side. Right, move forward and set up here. We're dealing a lot of damage here. And I feel as though the enemy is slowly tiring out. Yeah, 2nd militia was broken. Gain ground here. Let's see, cavalry is rallying. I'll have them move closer to where I need them, just so I don't forget about them. But not too close. Like, hold. And you will also move forward. Oh, the enemy has rallied behind us. But I feel like it's more pressing to fire at the guys right ahead of us. Now there's high risk of us shooting our own here. So I will advance you instead. And see if we can possibly maybe charge instead. Hopefully releasing some devastating volleys on these guys. As we're so close. 4th Kurd ordered to attack. Hopefully that will be enough to displace the 7th Grenadiers. Let's go ahead and see if we can't actually use our grenades with the 10th Regiment. And then you will be moved up to about here. Okay, now they're trading fire back towards us. Even with Kurt now striking in, they are not turning. However, the 5th Regiment is in a bad position. Finally, they broke. Let's have Kurt move through. I want you to prepare there. Can I get artillery? Focus in on those. I forgot who I ordered them to fire at. Cavalry still in a bad shape. Let's hold fire as we've got our own troops routing through, or at least for a little bit. Preparing to throw grenades, I hope. Yes, they are. Devastating the flank. Give them another one and make sure they flee. How have we not been able to break this line infantry? We're firing at point-blank range at these bastards. Even with yet another grenade shot, they still bloody well held on. And I don't get why you're not firing. You will be turning on these. And now I can bring in all of these towards the regiment right here. The enemy, though, is slowly actually breaking up this flank, which I don't like. The cohesion of the 3rd Cavalry is still really bad. We might still be forced to bring them in here. There's a risk of a complete break. I'm gonna have to move in the pikemen to deal with the 5th Regiment. And then hopefully the cavalry can join in and see about getting rid of the last here. Although I fear that if the cavalry routs once more, they might not come back to join me again. Move further out to the flank. Okay, so my pikemen are breaking, but at least so is the bloody 5th Line Infantry Regiment. Finally. Oh, they are kind of retreating. Set the cavalry on them. Let's have the grenadiers one by one move up to close in there. And before they're able to fire, cavalry strikes and brings them down. Go after the 2nd unit as well. Let's see if we can't get around the Prussians over here. Throw grenades. These guys are breaking, but so is the 10th Regiment. Getting hit hard by these guys right here. Give them another one. Well, my cavalry is going through the rear here of the enemy. Another good grenade throw. I think we're just going to abuse grenades here to make sure that we win this battle. We're gonna win it for the general who died. Okay, so my cavalry unfortunately was broken. And now we've got enemy cavalry closing in. To the point where I will hold my units right here. Give them another round of oh shit, no, no, no! We got mass rout on this side of the battlefield. The enemy cavalry has mass rout my troops. We've got one pike regiment holding on. We've got their regiment of grenadiers ready to flank my troops. Can I get my artillery to fire here? We're gonna have to kind of withdraw a lot of troops here. Okay, we got a major rout. As the enemy's cuirassier unit is just breaking us apart. Come on, rally, god damn you. This is not great. The cuirassiers are doing quite the number on us. And we got the grenadiers soon enough coming up in our flank. I want them to get close enough to actually hit my square. None of these units are coming back, unfortunately. Okay, militia, move back to face them. The line infantry, though, I need you, or the grenadiers actually, needs to be moved to aid on this side. Can I get the square close enough to actually join in this fight? Form square in the back here. I need you guys to fire on them. I need you to turn. Okay, so we got some units rallying. If I had been able to bring my hussars, then this would have been truly a different battle. Finally, we broke the cuirassiers. I can pull my troops back and reorganize them. And we've got some units rallying all the way in the back. We need to stay away from the grenadiers as we try and bring our troops together around here. Currently, my artillery is focusing in on these guys. 6th Regiment of Line. Line Infantry Regiment seems really hard to break here. You know what? I should be just as cheeky as my enemy. If I'm able to take out their general, maybe that is what will bring me victory in this battle. But I'm gonna have 4 regiments here going up against their grenadiers. 2 line infantry regiment and 2 grenadiers. I don't think my 3rd grenadiers are going to come back. They're really focusing in on my guys down here instead of the 2 militia units. Well, they got the advantage on the range there, being on top of the hill. The cannons are perfectly set up to bounce shots through here. And these guys are perfectly ready to fire up the flank on these bastards. Pike Square moved to that side. Any rallying? I got my general. My general will, or the rest of this bodyguard will move in to assassinate their general. That's the way I'm going to win. Finally, it looks like the 6th Regiment is going to have enough, and we're going to be able to force them away. It's going to be difficult, though, to get the 9th Grenadiers to give up. I'll order my cannons to focus in on the 3 last regiments out here. Finally, these guys were broken. You will move forward. The thing is, though, after this battle, I'm not entirely sure that I will be able to capture Koenigsberg after this, given the severe losses that we've taken from this battle. But at least the town won't be able to sally forth, so I could probably use my hussars. They could be brought in. Alright, we keep firing over here. I think we have a definite advantage over the 9th Grenadiers. Let's see if we've got a deal breaker here, as the bodyguard of the former general takes revenge on the enemy general. And did they shoot at the troops that were retreating, or what did they shoot at? No single bodyguard. Oh shit. I completely forgot I was advancing here. There we go, now they're starting to shoot them. Did I see 3rd Grenadiers? I'm not liking their situation. Oh, the general is moving. These guys are coming back. Maybe a Hail Mary charge by the general staff can break these before they cause too much problem for me. Or at least hold them off. Okay, there we've got a regiment of theirs on the move. Well, 9th Grenadiers are turning to face the militia. That's not great. But as they do, the rest of the regiments will gain ground here. And we will be setting up to fire very close range on them. From all sides. Okay, so the general unit or the bodyguard did what they were supposed to, and they broke the 6th before they were able to get around into my arse. Let's see, this should be enough, I think. Gathering this amount of troops, completely surrounding the 9th Grenadiers. Unfortunately though, I never killed their general. He is leaving the field, so I guess I'll take that as a victory. Get rid of them. We've almost gone on. It's almost gone on for an hour. They're finally done. I'll have the pikemen move into their the way of their retreat and make sure that they do not come back. Alright, we're gonna still be worried about their cannon here. Could cause problem. Alright, the 2 line infantry. And then the 2 Grenadiers. Are they setting up to fire on us? Do they have an angle? I don't think so. Oh yeah, that's not a great setup. Oh, and the 9th Grenadiers completely annihilated. Down to the last man. Let's try and move into the flank of this regiment. Together with the pikemen. Currently this is the target of my guns. We'll focus in on the very last unit. Okay, now you will turn. Majorovsky will move around and hit this regiment from the back, while the 3rd will face them head on. It's a unit of pikemen. That could cause problem, as they could flank my army. Looks like they've realized something's up, as they've switched target now to the 3rd, focusing in on the 3rd regiment. I want to move forward, and then I want you to turn. pikes to close in. Okay, these pikemen are now trying to surround the 2 militia, so they will be moving back. Barely any casualties, actually. Let's see. I want to see if I can get my grenadiers into a good... Oh, crap, the 3rd is giving up. The army does not look... Oh, no! We were able to throw our grenades. But the enemy did a terrible amount of damage on us. Oh crap, move back. Hit them again. No, they're broken. Form pike square, move away. Okay, the 3rd was rallied. The militia is back. We were unfortunately broken over there. Okay, this is not good. The pikes are moving all over the place. Get around. That is not good. Get them into melee. We won't win in a firefight. Oh no! God damn it. Good. Make sure that they do not get away. Actually, you two are needed over here. Make sure that those guys don't come back. As long as the square can hold and you unleash deadly volleys into the side of these idiots, then we might be able to win. I have 12 minutes left to win the battle. It looks like I might be able. They're wavering. So is my pike square. The battles in this mod are tough. Oh, you're back. I didn't even realize. I do not want that unit to come back. Okay, I'll order the troops around here a little bit. Alright, you have chastened. There's only one guy left there. Let's order the troops over here. Okay, you broke. This unit most likely will come back. The thing is though, looking at the situation right now, I've got 2 cannons left. The thing is we've got 11 minutes. Okay, they've already rallied. Wait, they intercepted me, right? So they are the ones that need to win the battle. I'm not the one that needs to win the battle. But at this point, I mean, I've been slugging it out for 50 minutes now. Unless this one regiment somehow managed to beat me. You know what? I will call it a victory here and out. Because, I mean, the video is going to be way too long at this point. So, I'll say victory. although you'll know soon enough. So, with that, I declare the battle won. what a fight. It took me, I mean, it took the whole hour to complete it. We managed to win though, but at a heavy cost. I deployed 3,500 men. 2,000 of them lay dead on the field. I have 1,600 remaining. The enemy deployed 4,100 men. Lost 3,600, so they only have 500 left after the battle. Experience does so much in this, I realized. Like, experience is so important, and I can understand why they wanted to go for this the system of merging units kind of through each other instead, to kind of keep the experience for a lot of units. The thing is though, so many men are dying in my units. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at who killed the most. One militia unit managed to kill 1,000 men. Wait, how many did I kill? In total, I killed 3,000 enemies. A third of all the kills made in this battle was made by one specific militia unit, which has 99 men left. So it's this one right here. I mean, there's only 2, so 1,000. I mean, this one was the one that was able to chase down a few. The thing is, I didn't show it in the end because I got like, I mean, who's gonna want to watch this to the very end? And I was like, but at the very end, one of those fresh pikeman units probably was charging this guy, and you could hear, I mean, the pike unit was dying like when you the bug when they're on the wall and the wall breaks. And the unit runs off the wall, and they all run down the stairs, and they all die in the same spot. And you hear this constantly get... That's what it was sounding like when the pike unit ran into the militia unit. They were slaughtering them. I'm dreading looking at the replay in this and trying to pick out parts to showcase. God. Hopefully the battles to come won't take this long. They will be more snappy. I think it was because, I mean, the enemy was inactive and my troops weren't really that good. I was lacking cavalry to chase them down and break them and so on. Cannons were in bad positions. I mean, God. The bloody general survived, which pisses me off, and we lost Stanislav Poniatowski. I hope he's not like super famous Polish general that I just lost, because that would suck if I managed to lose him. There's 1,000 men defending. I'm in a risk here of losing my bloody capital if the enemy charges in. So maybe I shouldn't send the cavalry, but I kind of need, you know what? These guys. I'll send these to join in, right? They will join, and now I have a proper general, Pontoki, to join in and fight. Demand surrender. They agreed. Agent executed. Surrender accepted. Wonderful. Wait, was that my agent? I moved him out. No, there was the enemy agent. Was found out and killed. Wonderful. We took Koenigsberg. The troops here will be reorganized. We're merging these two units into each other. And these two as well. I mean, the experience seems to be doing a lot in terms of how the unit works. It doesn't seem like it. Like, it's still 9 morale and stuff like that. We do have the 6th regiment, which is a non-name regiment that I can merge into another. But then can't really merge anyone else there. I don't think the enemies, the Austrians, are going to go here. So instead, we'll have Pontoki will be heading south with his force. And then I think this one in a defensive position will surely stand against Alexander and his forces. It's great that we took this. It's just a little bit of a shame that it cost so many troops. But we took Koenigsberg. Damn. I tried to keep my episodes within 30 minutes. This blew that way out of the water. I was so concerned when the general died, and actually throughout the battle, that I was at a certain point I was going to lose it. And if I lost it, that would have been such a major loss, because thousands of men dead, not really an economy to replenish them, and the Prussians kept building troops here, and they were going to attack sooner or later. They were going to build up enough troops to attack, and at the same time I'm fighting the Austrians and the Ottomans. So we definitely got quite the battle ahead of us. What I could do here is I could actually ask Saxony maybe to join the war. They're already at war with the Prussians. I can ask them to join against the Austrians, and maybe that takes a little bit heat off me. Doubtful, but it could take some. And now we're gonna have to face huge Austrian force. Hopefully Pontoki will arrive in the capital in time. I will have 2 hussars. I will have hopefully cannons, infantry and so on, everything ready and set up to smash these Austrian bastards. But that will be for the next episode. I am truly happy that we won the battle. It's a shame that I had to lose a prominent general in my force. But that is unfortunately how the tide of war goes. And with that, I am happy to say that the episode is over. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.